Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Sohail and you are watching Arakan Times Daily English News. Today is Friday, 22 November 2024. Today's news headlines. Terrorist Arakan Army AA was driven out by civilians in northern Mongdo. The terrorist Arakan Army AA is deliberately targeting civilians in Arakan state. Details of today's news. It has been reported that a group of the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA armed with weapons and wearing official uniforms entered a village inhabited by the Dana ethnic group in northern Mongdo Township, Arakan State, Myanmar. The village known as Timbola is a village of Dana ethnic group situated in northern Mongdo Township, Arakan State, Myanmar. A resident of Timbola stated a group of the terrorist Arakan Army AA fully armed in uniforms came into the village. They forcibly tried to take Dana youth, including women, for the conscription, and they also threatened the villagers in numerous ways. They entered into a home of a Dana where youths were staying and attempted to take them forcefully for conscription. However, other villagers gathered and stopped them. When the villagers confronted the members of the terrorist Arakan Army AA tried to intimidate the villagers and even threatened to shoot them. But the villagers bravely drove them out of the village. A woman from the same village added, the villagers dropped them out using knives and sticks of bamboo. The members of the terrorist Arakan Army AA fired their guns at us, but we did not back down. Eventually, we succeeded in forcing them to leave the village. The Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA has been targeting ethnic groups such as Rohingya, Daina, Mru, Ching, and Burmese living in Arakan State, Myanmar. They forcibly conscript youths, including women, from these communities. Those who refuse to comply are often killed or arbitrarily detained along with their families. It has been reported that the Arakan Army AA, a Arakan terrorist group based in Arakan State, has been inhumanly and brutally targeting civilians in various ways in all the towns in Arakan State, Myanmar. The Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA has been torturing civilians, including Rohingya, Daina, Ching, and Burmese ethnic groups residing in Arakan State, Myanmar. They have been persecuted by the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA in multiple forms. Recently, 56 Dana ethnic people fled to Bangladesh due to the inhuman acts of the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA. In interviews, they stated that they have been discriminated against and forcibly conscripted by the terrorist Arakan Army AA. A Dana woman said the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA is forcefully conscripting members of the Dana ethnic group, including women and underage boys and girls. Those who refuse to join are killed. A Burmese ethnic person stated, "We are always targeted by the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA. We are even unable to use our Burmese language. If we speak Burmese, we are either directly killed or detained by the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA in Arakan State." Another Burmese individual reported, "We have to pay taxes to the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA monthly. If we fail to pay, the terrorist Arakan Army AA forcibly vacates us from our villages, making us homeless and turning us into refugees." Additionally, the Rohingya community, who are indigenous to Arakan State, have been subjected to discriminatory treatment by the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA. The Rohingyas have suffered persecution at the hands of Arakan extremists, particularly the terrorist Arakan Army AA, often in collaboration with the military council. For decades, Rohingyas have been killed based on false allegations whenever they are discovered in Arakan State. Ethnic groups such as Rohingya, COMMENT, Dana, Ching, and Burmese residing in Arakan State have endured brutal and inhuman mistreatment by the Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA. These groups are systematically targeted, killed, or detained based on false allegations. Many are forced to flee to neighboring Bangladesh to escape the persecution inflicted by the terrorist Arakan Army AA. The Arakan terrorist group Arakan Army AA employs various methods to inhumanly kill innocent civilians. At times, they wear civilians' clothing to carry out these killings. while they often using their official uniforms to target and kill innocent civilians. Additionally, they sometimes disguise themselves the uniform of other groups, such as the military council, to inhumanly torture and kill innocent civilians in Arakan State, Myanmar. Thanks for watching Arakan Times Daily English News.